Have a nice day, my dear students. Today we will discuss about the armature reaction of DC machine and how to reduce it, and also armature winding, which is called lap and wave winding. These are my lecture 3 and 4. I have marked these two PPT for your help, and this is the most important lecture of electrical machine of diploma as well as BTech and MTech. So myself, Mr. Santanu Noskar, Assistant Professor of Electrical Department. My mail ID is santanu.uit@gmail.com and santanu.noskar_gkcem@gisgroup.org. My Facebook page is Being Electrified with Santanu. So at first I will discuss about the syllabus of your third sem electrical machine for diploma West Bengal State Council. So this is the syllabus. Unit 1 is general introduction of rotating machine, which I have covered in my previous lecture. Unit 2 is for DC generator, working principle, construction, types of DC generator, function of interpole, compensating winding. This all I have covered in my previous lecture. Now today I will go through armature winding types, lap and wave winding, and armature reaction. In my previous video I am also covered EMF equation and method of building of EMF. Okay, so day by day I will cover the DC motor and 3-phase transformer, single phase transformer. In DC motor we will learn about working principle of DC motor, back EMF, speed torque equation, characteristics of series shunt compound motor, method of speed control, starting method of DC motor, where we can learn about 3-point starter and 4-point starter, losses and efficiency and DC motor, braking method like regenerative braking, dynamic braking and plugging, and some application of DC motor. In single phase transformer we can learn EMF equation, transformer ratio, KVA rating, types of transformer, which is core transformer, cell transformer, concept of ideal transformer, different types of cooling method briefly, performance under no load condition with phasor diagram, performance under with load condition with phasor diagram, equivalent circuit, per unit voltage representation, voltage regulation, short circuit, open circuit test, polarity test, parallel operation of single phase transformer like this, and also auto transformer and step up and step down auto transformer. In 3-phase we can learn types of 3-phase transformer, construction of 3-phase transformer, core and different types of winding, connection of 3-phase transformer which is vector grouping, concept of tertiary winding and its utility, 3-phase auto transformer and its working principle, and comparison of auto transformer with 2 winding. These are our practical, and here this is some book for you like electrical machine by S.K. Bhattacharya, publication TMH, that's mean Tata McGraw-Hill publication. Then electrical machinery, Dr. S.K. Sen, Khanna publisher. Electrical machine, Nagraj Kothari, TM Hill, that's mean Tata McGraw-Hill. Electrical machine, Ashfaq Hossain, Dhanpat Rai. Electrical machine, J.B. Gupta, S.K. Kataria and Sons. And properties of electrical machine and power electronics, P.C. Sen, India. So let's start and go through my video. Have a good day, student. Today we will discuss about the armature reaction of DC machine and how to reduce it. This is my lecture 3 of electrical machine. Day by day you will get all the lectures of electrical machine. So myself Santanu Noskar, Assistant Professor of Electrical Department, GKCM, JIS Group. My mail ID is santanu.uit@gmail.com and also santanu.noskar_gkcem@gisgroup.org, and this is my Facebook page, Being Electrify with Santanu. Okay, so what is armature reaction? In a DC machine, two kinds of magnetic fluxes are present, armature flux and main field flux. The effect of armature flux on the main field flux is called as armature reaction. Now you have to know what is GNA and MNA. GNA means geometrical neutral axis, MNA means magnetic neutral axis. Okay, so GNA, it is the axis that bisects the angle between the central line of adjacent poles. Clearly it is the axis of symmetry between two adjacent poles. So this is GNA. Okay, MNA is called magnetic neutral axis. It is the axis drawn perpendicular to the mean direction of the flux passing through the center of the armature. Okay, so this perpendicular line, and this is the flux going through the armature, so this perpendicular line is called MNA. Clearly no EMF produced in the armature conductors along the axis, because then they cut no flux. With no current in the armature conductor, the MNA coincides with GNA. Okay, now the actual explanation of the armature reaction. Okay, so there are three figures, figure 1, figure 2 and figure 3. Figure 1, consider no current is flowing in the armature conductors and only the field winding is energized. Okay, so no current is flowing through the armature conductor. Now figure 2, the second figure in the above image shows armature flux lines due to the armature current. Field poles are de-energized. Okay, so here field poles are de-energized. Now figure 3, now when a DC machine is running, both the fluxes or flux due to the armature conductor and flux due to the field winding will be present at the time the armature flux superimposed with the main field flux and hence disturbs the main field flux. This line is very important. The armature flux superimposed with the main field flux hence disturb the main field flux. This effect is called as armature reaction in DC machine. So whenever the armature flux superimpose with the main field flux and disturb the main field flux, this disturbance is called armature reaction in DC machine. Okay, now the effect of armature reaction. Armature reaction weakens the main field flux. Okay, in case of DC generator, weakening of main flux reduce the generator voltage. So this is the disadvantage. It reduces the generated voltage. Next, armature reaction distort the main flux, hence the position of MNA gets shifted. MNA is perpendicular to the flux lines of main field flux. Brushes should be placed on the MNA, otherwise it will lead to sparking at surface of brushes. So due to armature reaction, it is hard to determine the exact position of MNA. This MNA is shifted, so for this armature reaction, it is very hard to determine the exact position of the MNA. Next, for a loaded DC generator, MNA will be shifted in the direction of the rotation. On the other hand, for a loaded DC motor, MNA will be shifted in the direction opposite to that of the rotation. Okay, so these are the effect of armature. Now how to reduce armature reaction? By using compensating winding and interpole, we can reduce the armature reaction. These are the compensating winding. Okay, these are the compensating winding and these are the interpoles. This is situated between two main poles. This one and this one are main pole. This is situated between two main poles. This is called interpole. This is compensating winding. So at first, compensating winding. Okay, so these are the compensating winding. Compensating winding is connected in series with the armature winding in such a way that it carries the current in opposite direction. Okay, so by compensating winding we can reduce the armature reaction. Briefly we can say Now we know that the armature reaction is due to the presence of armature flux. Armature flux is produced due to current flowing in armature conductor. Now if we place another winding in close proximity of the armature winding, and if it carries same current but in the opposite direction as that of the armature current, then this will neutralize the armature field. Okay, such an additional winding is called compensating winding, and it is placed on the pole phases. Compensating winding is connected in series with the armature winding in such a way that it carries the current in opposite direction. Now interpoles. So these are the interpoles. These are the main poles. Okay, interpoles are the small auxiliary poles placed between the main field poles winding. On the interpole is connected in series with the armature. Each interpole is wound in such a way that its magnetic polarity is same as that of the main pole ahead of it. Interpole nullify or neutralize the quadrature axis of armature flux. So thank you. Have a nice day, my dear student. Today we will discuss about armature winding, which is lap and wave. This is my lecture 4 in electrical machine. Day by day I will cover the all syllabus of electrical machine. Myself Santanu Noskar, Assistant Professor of Electrical Department, GKCM JIS Group. This is my mail ID santanu.uyt@gmail.com and santanu.noskar_gkcm@jisgroup.org. And this is my Facebook page, Being Electrify with Santanu. You can like this page. Okay, so armature winding. The armature winding is the most important part of the rotating machine. It is place where the energy conversion take place. The mechanical energy is converted into electrical energy, and the electrical energy is converted into mechanical energy. The armature winding is mainly classified into two types: lap winding and wave winding. Okay, actually the armature winding is closed type and open type. The closed type has Gramme ring winding and drum type winding. In drum type winding there are two type of winding: lap winding, wave winding. In lap winding there are two type of winding: simplex lap winding, multiplex lap winding. Actually there are also triplex lap winding, but in our syllabus we will not discuss about triplex lap winding. In wave winding there are simplex wave winding and multiplex wave winding. So first of all we will discuss about lap winding. So in lap winding, number of poles P equals to number of parallel path A. Okay, this is mainly used in low voltage high current machine. In lap winding, the conductors are joined in such a way that their parallel paths and poles are equal in number. The end of each armature coil is connected to the adjacent segment on the commutator. Okay, look here. The end of each armature coil is connected to the adjacent segment on the commutator. The number of brushes in the lap winding is equal to the number of parallel paths, and these brushes are equally divided into negative and positive polarity. Okay, and also if a machine has P poles and Z armature conductor, then there will be P parallel paths and each path will have Z by P conductor in series. Okay, now simplex lap winding. In simplex lap winding, the terminal end of one coil is joined to the commutator segment and the starting end of the next coil is placed under the same pole. Also the number of parallel path is similar to the number of poles of the winding. So look here, the terminal end of one coil, here this is the terminal end of one coil, is joined to the commutator segment Okay, this is the commutator segment, and the starting end of the next coil is placed under same pole, and this is the starting end of the next coil. Okay, so these two coil is placed under same pole. Okay, also the number of parallel path is similar to the number of poles of the winding. Next, duplex lap winding. In duplex lap winding, the number of parallel paths between the pole is twice the number of poles. The duplex lap winding is mainly used for heavy current application. Such type of winding is obtained by placing two similar windings on the same armature and connecting the even number commutator bars to one winding and the odd number to the second winding. Okay, so what is the main thing? Such type of winding is obtained by placing two similar windings on the same armature. Look here, two similar winding. Okay, also look the next coil. So there are two similar winding. So these are the lap winding. Now we will go through the wave winding. So the number of brushes is equals to the number of parallel paths. The number of parallel path equals to 2. The number of brushes also equals to 2. This is mainly used in high voltage low current machine. In wave winding, only two parallel paths are provided between two positive and negative brushes. The finishing end of one armature coil is connected to the starting end of the other armature coil. Commutator segment at some distance apart. In this winding, the conductor are connected in two parallel paths irrespective of the number of poles of the machine. The number of brushes is equals to the number of parallel paths. Okay. And also one thing, the conductor are split into two parallel paths. We know that, and each parallel path has Z/2 conductor in series. And also this winding look like a wave shape. That's why this is called wave winding. Now the difference between lap winding and wave winding. Okay, so these are the difference. First definition: for lap, the coil is lap back to the succeeding coil. For wave, the coil of the winding from the wave shape. Connection: the end of the armature coil is connected to an adjacent segment on the commutator. For wave, the end of the armature coil is connected to the commutator segment some distance apart. Parallel path: the number of parallel paths are equal to the total number of poles. For wave, the number of parallel paths is equals to 2. For other name, parallel winding or multiple winding. Lap winding name parallel winding or multiple winding. And for wave, two circuit or series winding. EMF is less for lap and more for wave required. Number of brushes equals to the number of parallel path for lap, and for wave which is 2. Types: simplex and duplex winding. Also there is triplex winding. This type progressive and retrogressive wave winding. Efficiency is less for lap, high for wave. Additional coil, equalizer ring required. And for wave, dummy coil required. Winding cost is high for lap, low for wave. Used in low voltage high current machine. It is used in high voltage low current machine. So thank you. This is my Facebook page and this is my YouTube channel. You can subscribe my YouTube channel and like my Facebook page. So my dear student, hope you all enjoy my video. So now I am telling you some books, reference book about electrical machine which will very helpful to you, and I also get help from these books and which will be very inspiring for you. So First is Electrical Machine by Abhijit Chakraborty and Sudipta Debnath. This book is very simple and good. Then Principle of Electrical Machines, V.K. Mehta, Rohit Mehta. For Diploma Engineering, this book is also very good. This is S. Chand publication. And then this is Electrical Machinery by Dr. P.S. Phimla. Actually, this book is the, in my choice, this book is the best book of electrical machine. But for diploma engineering, this book is little bit tough. But if you understand all about this book, then your machine subject will be very clear. Okay. So also you can go through some NPTEL lectures of electrical machine. In there you will find definitely some good videos about electrical machine and all your electrical subject. And you can also go through this site electricalforyou.com and electricaleasy.com. Okay, then thank you.